Arts and exercise are great ways to calm patients suffering from depression, chronic pain, and even PTSD. But did you ever think crafting would? Many students who enjoy their own orientation experience go out and become orientation leaders themselves. With only 72 spots open for the 2015 orientation staff, it's going to be a tough call for the selection committee. Imagine waking up for school, getting dressed, and going outside to your car not being there. Senior Christy Tasca knows what that feels like. With so much going on in our day-to-day lives, there's a strong reason to be stressed. But Quinnipiac students learn with time management and a little professional help, they know how to cope with it. Dancing, being loud, and a love for Quinnipiac are few of the many qualities an orientation leader should have. Do you have what it takes? Many students went through the orientation selection process this past weekend.
If you meet the GPA and conduct requirement, you then go through a weekend-long process. On Saturday is a group process, so anyone who meets those requirements will go and do a group activity and just kind of be evaluated by different people from Student Center and Res Life to see if they fit kind of what they're looking for an orientation leader. Approximately half of those people will then be chosen for an interview the next day. And then from those people who are interviewed, they choose however many new orientation leaders they need for the staff. Why are orientation leaders so passionate about this program?
I had such a great experience in orientation that I wanted to in turn, provide incoming students with the same experience. Orientation is a great chance to kind of meet new people and find your place at Quinnipiac, and I want to take part in that mentorship role.
Clearly, there's much more to orientation than just a colorful polo.
I think my favorite part is the traditions that the staff has, because that kind of gets to show the spirit of Quinnipiac to the incoming students. It's fun for everyone who's involved. I think the students take a lot away from it, like the ribbon dance or singing to senior girls. That is, yes, it's all about us, but at the same time they get so much out of it, and I think that draws a lot of people to actually come and apply because they see how close-knit we are and how much of a family we really kind of embody.
Many students who enjoy their own orientation experience go out and become orientation leaders themselves. With only 72 spots open for the 2015 orientation staff, it's going to be a tough call for the selection committee. Reporting for QNN, I'm Christina Atard. Cleaning, cooking, doing your laundry, writing papers, and registering for classes all make students reach their boiling point. Oftentimes, students adjust to college in different ways. Some choose to get very involved, while others just struggle while doing their laundry. We talked to a few Quinnipiac students to hear what stresses them out the most and how they cope with it.
I consider myself a very scheduled person. I live out of my iCal and my iPhone calendar. Everything I do every day is scheduled, so I know where I need to be, when I need to be there, class, involvement, meetings. Sometimes I schedule in lunch dates with friends to make sure I don't forget about them, as sad as that sounds.
The most stressful part of my day is trying to figure out what to do when I want to do it. Schoolwork is necessity, whereas these organizations may come second to school, but a lot of times you want to put them before school, so the hardest thing is just trying to juggle what should be done, whereas what can be pushed off. I think if you're looking to get involved, you have to find something you're passionate about. So even if all these things stress me out, I want to do them and I want to put my time and effort into them. So that's the number one thing. So even if you're stressed out about something you don't want to do, chances are it's going to make you more stressed and you're not going to want to do it. So I'd rather be stressed out by things that I love. So time management is the key for everything. You're going to need it later in life, so you better figure out how to do it now.
Now I'm on my own. I have to do my own laundry, have to be able to talk with people and network and stuff like that. Something that stressed me out a lot was one of my first exams because I didn't know what the format was going to be. I didn't know how hard the questions were going to be, so I kind of stressed out over that. But then afterwards, I learned making note cards, studying ahead of time, stuff like that to kind of help.
I think what stresses me out the most is not having enough hours in a day. So I guess it's hard to see my really uninvolved roommates be able to sit on the couch on a Sunday morning and you have to get up and go to a fundraiser or go to a meeting, or you have a huge test on Monday that you didn't have time to study for during the week because you had a test or a meeting or a fundraiser. So I think that's what causes me the most stress, is like seeing that there's a life outside of this, and I constantly ask myself, is this worth it? And that also stresses me out. I have a fear of time, not having enough of it or having too much of it, and it really makes me crazy.
Mary Mascolo, a consultant for counseling services at Quinnipiac, suggested ways on how students can handle their stress.
I think sometimes what people need to do is just take a step back and stop and say, okay, what do I have to do? Let me look at it. Can I do it? Sort of get a little more organized. I think if people are organized, that is one way to not be as stressed, to do the work, to utilize the, whether it's counseling, the learning commons, speaking to a professor, getting tutored. So to utilize what the school has to offer is one way to help with the anxiety. Also, I think the basics. I always talk to people about eating right, getting enough sleep, and getting some exercise. Even if, it doesn't have to be sort of formal exercise like working out, but it could be hiking the mountain or going for a walk.
With so much going on in our day-to-day lives, there's a strong reason to be stressed. But Quinnipiac students learn with time management and a little professional help, they know how to cope with it. For Q30 News, I'm Christina Atar.
So I was in the Navy for 5 years, stationed in Virginia, and then I'm originally from Hamden. So when I got out of the Navy, I came back to Hamden, and I applied to local schools, and Quinnipiac just seemed to be the best fit overall.
Matthew Bolton is the president of the Student Veteran Organization at Quinnipiac. The Student Vet Organization raises awareness of veteran issues on and around campus, as well as provides support, guidance, and information to veterans and dependents of veterans.
I wanted to build a community.
The Student Veteran Organization raises money to support various veteran charities across the U.S. According to a recent Wall Street Journal article, oftentimes female veterans feel as though they don't get the same amount of support as male veterans.
So we have quite a few women veterans in our organization and at Quinnipiac. Some of our veterans are victims of sexual assault in the military, and with that I think comes a lot of lifelong challenges, and that doesn't stop here, so that's one big thing we've been working on.
Diana O'Rourke, a current student enrolled in Quinnipiac's School of Law, is balancing her dream of becoming an attorney while managing 4 small children under the age of 5. She also served in the United States Army Reserves for 3 years.
I went to Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, and I was there from June of 2003 until September 11th, 2003. So just 2 years after was our graduation. And that was a lot of fun. I learned, a lot of basic things, and then from there went to Fort Huachuca, Arizona, and stayed there till February of 2014. And I studied military intelligence, which is the Army's version of the CIA. I do find that a number of the women that I know who have been in the military don't necessarily promote the fact that they've been in the military, not because they're not proud of their service, but because that didn't define who they were, as it might with some of these male soldiers. Men tend to have the longer periods of time that they serve in the military. They make careers of it, whereas it seems to me with all the women that I still keep in touch with, they've all since left the military. None of them had any intentions of making a career out of it. Though female veterans have a different military experience than males, the Student Veteran Organization at Quinnipiac works hard to ensure they have vital tools and resources to support their female vets. We've had somebody from the Department of the Navy come to talk to us about job prospects as an attorney within the Department of the Navy. So it's a nice opportunity for us to share our experiences and find some commonality and some mutuality among those of us who have served. As soon as you meet somebody who's been in the military, there's an automatic connection. Their experiences, you're able to connect with them on a level that's different from connecting with other people. Reporting for Q30 News, I'm Christina Atard. Imagine waking up for school, getting dressed, and going outside to your car not being there. Senior Christy Tasca knows what that feels like.
I walked outside into my driveway and I had my key in my hand and I went to go click the unlock button, and then my car just wasn't there.
2 other cars in the driveway belonging to Christy's roommates were also broken into. Sean Gallagher The Associate Dean of Student Affairs at Quinnipiac mentioned how important it is for students to feel safe on campus.
You know, when we have complaints from students and within the community too of safety issues that involve students, you know, we do work cooperatively with Hamden Police and we actually do, I'd say we do probably more with New Haven and Yale Police because there's a more kind of an acute safety issue downtown when it comes to you know, the area around Toads and just student safety. So we actually do a lot of cooperation with those groups, with New Haven Police and Yale Police.
The Chief of Public Safety, David Barger, spoke about the initiatives QU has on off-campus safety for students and our relationship with Hamden Police.
The things that Hamden has is in their CAD system, and that's their computer-aided dispatch system, is a census of you, if you will, of where every Quinnipiac student lives in town. So they know that if there's a complaint there, they should contact us, whether it be a burglary, a larceny, a theft from a motor vehicle. And I know that Hamden always sends out at the beginning of the year, Captain Ron Smith sends out a welcome to Hamden message to all the students here. It tells a little bit about welcome to the community and we want you to be safe, and it covers everything from securing your home, your car, to pedestrian safety.
It's not every day that you walk outside and your car is stolen, but QU ensures every day that we're the safest school in the country. For Q30 News, I'm Christina Atard.